welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast, episode 9 for April 8th, 2012. My name's Tony, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Mark and Joe.
Mark's a bitch.
Yeah, I love porn.
And today, we have a new special guest for all of your listening pleasure, so without further delay, please welcome Asis to the show.
How you doing? Glad to be here.
Yeah, if you want to take a quick minute, introduce yourself, share your gamertag if you'd like, let us know your console of choice, and how you started playing video games.
First of all, I'm Masi Sagopian. I run Zelda Dungeon. I've been running it for almost 11 years now. Console of choice would definitely 100% be the NES. I have over 350 games for the NES. It's probably still, even today, the most played console in my household. Don't really play online right now. I don't really have I have a PS3, but I'm not an active online gamer at the moment.
Yeah. Very cool, man. All right, so let's Zelda Dungeon. And then if you guys want to take a quick second, do our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Let's go down the list. You know, it's just kind of space in here, and then I'm just thinking, now I'm going to get all the games out. Let's see. Joe, you go first this week.
Alright, let's look at my stack of games. I apparently played Alice Madness Returns.
Why is this a
because
competition?
it's on the top of my...
Why is this a competition between you two fuckers every week?
Well, after I absolutely, killed him the one week with every game, he's got to keep up.
That was the April Fool's cast.
No, it wasn't. That was true.
No, it wasn't.
Diablo 3 coming to consoles.
Yes, sir.
Shut up, Mark. Alright, no, let's get serious. Me and Mark actually played a bunch of Tiger Woods online.
Very cool.
And I played some Forza.
Rock on.
And some Catherine.
Oh, yes, how you liking that so far?
I don't know.
Iffy?
I've done 2 levels.
I've now thought about what I played. I actually played some X3 this week. I bought it. It was on sale on Steam. It was a franchise sale. Interesting. I bought it because it was supposed to be like a freelancer clone, and man, I'm kind of bored at this point. So I might go back, but I probably won't. Let's see. Then I did the Tiger with Joseph over there. I was playing Batman Arkham City actually a lot today. My sister was over, and she's like, "Oh, you should play the game," and I did for like 3 hours today. It's great. Other than that, I did a lot of NHL this week. I don't know. I was on a
getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, getting ready for the playoffs, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I did some Euphoria again because that game's just fun and easy.
I have one more to add.
Your turn's over.
Shut up. Because there's a bunch of rugby on TV today, so I was like, I need to go play rugby on my computer, so I was playing Jonah Lomu.
Nice.
We also did play Borderlands.
We did play Borderlands. Split screen, actually. We were in the same room. We also played Tiger in the same room at one point, too.
We did. I also played some Gunstringer today, and let's see.
God, we're whores.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it's supposed to take like a minute, guys.
All right, go on.
All right, I was
also Unit 13.
I just did Skyrim. I did a little bit of GoldenEye Reloaded. And
I like GoldenEye too.
And in honor of our upcoming guest for this week, I logged some hours in Skyward Sword because I still haven't finished that. I'm only
I did not. I meant to.
Yeah. I still haven't finished it. I've been trying to, dude. That game's too long, and there's too much.
It is very long.
There's too much to play. I can't just sit there and But I did put another 7 or 8 hours into it this week. So
that game needs to be long. It started the timeline.
Yeah.
I got World at War too. Played a little bit of that.
Your turn is over, sir.
Oh, we're gonna have to get like a clock, 30 seconds each. Rapid fire that shit.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to start making lists then.
Oh,
alphabetical order.
Yeah, I'll have to start doing that too.
If you want, go ahead and let us know what you were doing this week.
GameStop recently had that buy 2 get 1 free sale, so I picked up some old games that I've wanted to pick up. One of them, this was an awful purchase, but I picked up Back to the Future, the game.
I love
the
that
Wii
game.
version. I bought the Wii version just because that's convenience in my living room, and I want to play with my brother because he's into the movies. And I found out after I bought it that the frame rate on the Wii version is miserable, and I looked up reviews and it's just awful, and I'm immediately regretting it, and I'm gonna go get the PS3 version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, switch it out.
I have the PS3
it was
version.
Free for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Oh, for PlayStation Plus. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So, very cool.
All right, we ready to start some sexy stories.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's start sad. We'll go happy. Then we'll go sad again. Then we'll go happy again. So that's the overall feel of today's show.
Just up and down.
Yeah. First off, THQ is supposedly going to be dead in the next 6 months.
That's a rumor, dick.
Well, that was from the. Oh wait, did I kill one of Joe's rumors?
No, actually, it's not.
All right. So this was this was from Rockstar. Actually, Rockstar apparently was talking with somebody unnamed in the THQ upper management, and then later this week came out saying that they're basically going to be dead soon, and that is the news I've heard so far. If you're not aware, THQ has been making the WWE games and UFC for as long as I can think.
And Warhammer.
And Warhammer as well. I was also going to put in Darksiders and Saints Row.
The ones that concern me about them going under is obviously Saints Row, because they finally got it right with number 3, and I was looking forward to either more expansions or a 4th game. And Darksiders, because I know once the first one did so well, they were talking about going through and doing one for each of the 4
Horsemen.
Yeah. And they did, the first one was War, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the second one
You play as Death.
Yeah, is Death. So they'd still have Pestilence
Why
Pestilence
did
or
the
whatever.
second one is Death?
They've actually renamed the Horsemen in the Darksiders franchise. It's not Conquest and Famine. Instead, they renamed them Strife and Fury. But they're not actually doing a game for each of them.
They're not?
No, they're not.
Okay,
I actually got invited to a THQ press event a few weeks back and got to play.
Very cool, man. How'd that go?
Darksiders 2. I'm more pumped for Darksiders 2 than any game I can think of from the last 5 years.
Really?
I think it's just going to explode. I think it's going to have almost like an Uncharted type pathway, where the first one was good, but it didn't really blow up until the second one came out, and now it's one of the biggest franchises this generation. I think Darksiders 2 is going to have that impact.
Yeah, I loved the first one. I thought the first one was brilliant. I'm looking forward to the second one.
Well, I'd highly recommend everyone playing the first one now, because after you play the second one, I think it's just going to be so good where the first one might be almost like unplayable.
That's very Uncharted-esque, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I played the second one, it's hard to go back, yeah.
And Darksiders is available on Amazon.com right now for $4.99.
Do it.
PC gamers.
See? Do it.
Wait, PC gaming?
$4.99 download on Amazon.
You said
But it's on
the right words
Amazon.
to Joe.
So,
Damn it.
Did
What?
you happen to hear anything about Company Heroes 2 at the press conference? I know it's in works, but it's still under wraps. Yes, no.
No, this was a purely Darksiders
Okay.
2 with Vigil Games, one of their subsidiary companies. So I didn't really meet many of the THQ folks. Just
Okay.
I got to meet with Joe Madureira and David Adams, the directors behind Darksiders, though. But
yeah, very cool.
Sweet.
I'm looking very forward to that. So.
That's the next THQ game I'm really looking forward to, is like Company Heroes.
You'd almost hope that like somebody with like the bigger money, like an Activision or an EA, would step in and like help financially back them, but allow them to do their own thing.
You know, this is scary for the fact that one of the few companies that's actually in Illinois is Volition, that is under THQ. So if
they're probably
they might be in trouble as well. I don't know how the financial ways are going to go at the end, but that would be another, because I mean, there's not many companies left in Illinois at this point.
It's sad because the whole THQ thing, if you ask me, it seems like it stemmed from that mistake that the Wii Draw was, or the, what is it called, Draw U or whatever.
Yeah, that was a huge,
it did well. It did well on the Wii,
flop.
and they made a mistake of making so many of those for the 360 and the PS3, and nobody wanted that crap for that. So they just have stockpiles of that stuff laying around.
Yeah, no, that was a huge mistake on their part.
Yeah. What can we do?
Yeah. All right, all you Uncharted 3 fans. April 10th is your first DLC, I guess. Yeah, for
Technically,
new maps. Yeah, new maps coming in this next 2 days.
About time.
There's been some stuff, but it was part of that Treasure Hunters Club, which is basically their season pass. Mm-hmm. And this is like the first thing that's coming out after that. Yeah.
No.
This is still part of it.
Yes.
Okay then. Never mind me.
More maps. All right, all you Tom Clancy fans you've been missing in action for a little bit, but Ghost Recon Beta starts this month for you 360 and PS3 owners. I've been playing the game for about a month and a half now. It's actually a pretty good shooter so far. The ways to get codes for it are through Splinter Cell Conviction, if you still have it, which you should, because it was great. PlayStation Plus members will be able to get it, or anyone who reserves it at GameStop.
Yeah.
Anyone looking
This
forward
is
to
the
it?
one that I believe I saw. The first impression I got from it was E3 last year, right?
Yeah,
It came
yeah, I
out with
believe
that big trailer.
Yeah.
This game actually looks really cool. I'm pretty stoked about it, this one as well. Yeah. Okay. You don't care?
What are we talking about?
God, Ghost Recon.
Oh, nah.
Me?
Meh.
Nah.
All right.
It looked cool at first, and now it's just kind of. I'm realizing now it's all Kinect fancy, and I don't care.
You
don't have to. They did have that thing where you like reached over your back, right, with the Kinect looking at you, and then you'd like pull it out and it'd like shuffle your guns that way. But
Yeah, I mean that's just all optional.
yeah, okay.
Harmonix is finally coming out with something new. I don't know if you've actually looked. It's called Rock Band Blitz. It will be the first rock band to actually not use any peripherals, and you can play all 4 instruments and vocals on one controller. You can actually switch between all of the instruments at once with only using a controller. It seemed... I don't know, like...
My mic didn't pick that up.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
Face
smacked
palm.
his face.
Yeah.
But a video for it looked actually kind of interesting. It's going in a completely new direction for the Rock Band series, and I think it'll sell really well. It's coming with 20 songs, but it is compatible with the 3,600 that are on Rock Band Marketplace.
With my 700 songs I already have.
So you'll have 720 songs, if you're Joe, to start off with, which is pretty sweet. So it's a good start. I don't know, it's going to probably bring in some new players to it, but I don't believe players of the normal games are going to find much of a, I don't know, just because of the fact that you can't use controllers.
I don't see how you're going to play
Or
guitar
guitars.
without a guitar.
Isn't the whole draw you get to play with your friends in a group with the drums and guitar, everybody? Like, I thought that was the whole point of Rock Band. The idea of
Yes.
playing with a controller seems
It is.
awful.
I don't get the point of there's a Rock Band for DS and PSP, and they just...
Well, that came with the little, like, tap pads
No,
or whatever.
that was
yeah.
The little thing that would come out.
Yeah.
That was Guitar Hero. Rock Band did not do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really got into any of these, so this is out of my wheelhouse. This is more you, Joe. You were sitting there shaking your head the whole time when this being
I
announced.
was.
You don't look very happy
No,
about this at all.
I'm not. I'd rather have them just give me, like...
Rock Band 4 or whatever.
No, not Rock Band 4, because it's going to be the same thing, and then I'll be forced to pay $60 for it. They should just give me song
More
packs.
songs.
Yeah. Or do a Rock Band song sale. Everything 50% off.
That
I
would
would go
be
nuts.
massive.
I would go nuts.
Yeah.
And buy so much shit.
Have they never done that?
No.
No, they've had track packs on sale, but I don't believe the actual store has had any that I know of.
It's a pain in the ass because every time I go into the Xbox like marketplace and I go into like the most recent stuff, it's always it's like
Yeah,
it's like
it
dude,
just
I'm looking
fills
for
up.
some DLC that came out like yesterday and it's already
It's
like
already like the
replaced
4th or 5th.
with- yeah.
There's
There's always Rock Band shit in front of it, so I don't know.
I do love Rock Band, but they don't need another game.
Yeah,
What are they going to do? What are you going to do as a company called Harmonix?
it's true.
DJ
First-person shooter.
DJ Hero 3, Turbo
A
Edition.
lot of people would like to see that back.
Yeah. Mikey included.
Google announces what could be the first affordable HUD glasses, and it's codenamed Project Glass.
These things look fucking awesome.
Yes.
I was reading this.
Have you seen the video for it?
They're like no. I was just reading some articles on them. They look like tablets on your eyes. They're like
Yeah.
sunglasses. You talk to it.
Yeah, you talk
just
and you can
surf
send
the web.
text and
Like,
surf
it's
the
just
web. It
they look
looks
awesome.
absolutely seamless in the integration of it. The video of it is basically showing, looks like a camera basically through the eyes of the actual, glasses, and you just pick up everything. Tells him when he's got notifications on Facebook.
Speakers right
and-
over your ears.
Yeah.
And remember when Kinect came out and that looked flawless?
No, I don't remember.
No, I
thought
don't
was gonna
remember
be a
that. I
pile
wasn't
as soon as they
impressed at
announced
all.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So are these like
That was all
goggles that
staged
go?
video.
Yeah, they look like
They're-
safety goggles.
No, they look.
They go around the head. They go.
They look pretty sleek. They didn't look
They're
like.
they were completely clear, and then they.
I mean,
have-
they're bigger than sunglasses,
Yeah.
but they're not like so like obnoxious where you're like, who would ever wear these?
I don't know if you guys remember My View. It was a little sunglasses like thing that had little earbuds that you plugged into your iPod and you watched your videos like here. Yeah, this isn't new tech. Technically.
Well, this one would be like full on like
yeah, I know.
Integration with like your phone. That's I probably see it in the video is it's like phone, internet, and music.
Yeah, what I was reading is it's just built in. You just like search this, you just talk and it picks it up, and the speakers are over your ears, and you just like the screen's in front of your face, so you could be sitting there like, you know, zoning out, hanging out with your girlfriend or whatever, and just checking the web and pretend you're listening, you know what I mean, but you're whatever, looking at porn or whatever. I don't know.
That's what everyone does with their girlfriend.
Yep.
So
guilty.
That's how I know you're in love.
Anyway, yeah, they look pretty cool.
They look pretty cool. I'll have to see the price point on them, but it's an interesting piece of tech coming out.
Yeah, we'll see how they actually put it down on the pavement. Like
it is Google though, so they don't really put out too much crap.
Yeah. It might.
Yeah, I mean, the Kinect, like they advertised it and it was all flawless and completely smooth and zero lag, and then it came out and it was garbage,
just junk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
But I mean,
mass making it just will sometimes kills things like that.
Also, this could be a stepping stone. I mean, you maybe the version 1.0 sucks, but like how what the iPads are. But by the time they get to Google Glasses 3,
Tony, stop before you say Kinect 2 might be better.
No, I don't.
Better resolution.
No.
That's about it that I know so far.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right, Missplosion Man is coming to your PC and mobile device. Yay, Twisted Pixel.
I don't understand how this is happening. Microsoft just bought up. They
they
swallowed
did.
Twisted Pixel.
And this will be coming to Android, iPhone, and PC.
I get PC with Windows or whatever, but they're like you said, they're letting it go to Android and iOS or whatever. Like, sure. I mean, let it. It's a great game. Let as many
Windows
people.
7 phones too.
Yeah, well,
for the 10 people who have that.
Yeah, I mean, get it out to as many people as possible. It's a great game. You guys should pick it up if you haven't. But yeah, just seems weird to me.
I had to beta test that. That was fun. I never bought it, but I did like it. It was cool.
I got hooked from the first one. It's fun. I love Twisted Pixel. I try to support them every time I can.
Funny enough, the only Twisted Pixels games I don't have are the Splosion Man series, but I played them both.
Yeah, they make great stuff. I like them. Yeah. Rock on. I'm missing Gunstringer because I don't have a Kinect, but
yeah, that's a cool story.
You can borrow mine.
Yeah,
it's not.
You can borrow mine, but it's only digitally downloaded.
Nobody's getting used. They're like
there's discs.
They're $80.
I know, but mine's digitally downloaded.
Oh yeah, mine too.
All right, Shadowrun is set for a $400,000 Kickstarter program, and the first 28 hours they received.
I'm sick of hearing about Kickstarter.
$5,500,000.
This Kickstarter shit works. Huh?
Can you give me a real number?
You think people get tired of donating? It seems like every week there's something new coming up, and they're just raising millions of dollars.
We should go down
I
there.
finally went to the website, and I was actually checking out games on there. And all right, so one of the things on Kickstarter is send Captain Picard to space. What it is this little doll of Captain Picard, and he wants to send it to space. It's gotten 150% of the total needed funds raised for it already, so Picard's going to space.
So shooting a little action figure out into space?
Yes.
Like a little mini rocket? And just
I guess.
That guy is going to take that money and waste it.
People are really bored in this country.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. It gets better. Another game that's 450% paid off is Ron Paul Road to Revolution.
That is.
He got $100,000 when he did I don't remember the number, but yeah, ridiculous. This other one that got a lot was FTL. It's a space shuttle sim game. That one's gotten more than it needed. You have Takedown, which is a realistic squad-based tactical shooter made by ex-Bungie and Tom Clancy developers. That thing got 300% of what it wanted. They've said that they're giving back 10% of all of it to other projects. So if you're getting too much money, it sounds like most of the pages are giving back to it.
They spread the wealth, yeah.
Yeah.
They give it to another Kickstarter program.
And what I thought was awesome about the Kickstarter website is every page has a donation limit. $15 generally gets you the game, goes all the way up to generally like $7,000. But along the way, like each one of them is different. Like for $1,000 for the I think it was the FTL game, there's actually you can. If you donate that much money, they'll name a character after you. $5,000 we'll bring you to the studio. Generally, like the $7,000 one, which is like the max I saw, was the development team will come out and for the, I think it was the FTL game. No, actually the Shadow one this was for them. The studio will come out to you and they'll play a 5-player game of the card-based Shadowrun game with you.
That's cool. So there's like little incentives for
it's like visiting the studio and stuff like that. There's a bunch of cool stuff on like each page of like donation limits. So it's no wonder that they're getting actual money for this, because there's pretty cool stuff along the way.
Very cool.
I want to sign up.
All right, it's cool. We have to go to Vegas. We're going to the Vegas EA bar, and then we're going to the EA
Remember
Vegas
our Kickstarter
bar.
we were supposed to start about that?
I just want to sign up on Kickstarter to get some money for new mics.
Oh,
I'm doing it.
good idea. Alright, Assassin's Creed writer hints that we're going to be going to India at some point, possibly for whatever after 3 is going to be. If it's going to be 4 and or another
3.2.
Yeah,
You seem
whatever.
a little upset about this. Go ahead.
I just get upset by the whole entire Assassin's Creed series at this point. It's just such...
The first 2 games were amazing.
It's video game fatigue at this point. There's just between the handhelds and the console versions, there's 2 of them a year pretty much, and I don't know.
It is a lot. I think I've touched on that before on the show as well. With
all the major games are doing it right now.
But that style of game, you only need one every 2 years. You don't need that to be pumped out every year.
Multiple ones a year too with the handhelds too.
Yeah.
Also included in the interview I was reading, the 3 most requested settings were, number 1 was World War II, number 2 was feudal Japan, and number 3 was Egypt.
Yeah. We don't need any more World War II games.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Been a lull.
No, we
It'd
don't.
be cool from that different perspective, though, to be like...
I guess. You know what we need, though, is World War I games.
There's only one that I know of. That was the Darkest of Days.
Yeah, but World War One, I mean, like, machine guns were in their infancy. I mean, you're still... That's why there's, like, barely any good, like, Civil War games. Like, what are you going to sit there and do, like, pump a musket?
That's
like,
why only History Channel picks them up.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, World War II was when, like, you had some serious firepower, so that became the first major war with good weaponry. I don't know. With Assassin's Creed, though, like, I think they couldn't have jumped all the way up to World War II because they're kind of limiting themselves in...
What you guys all should do right now is go to your laptop or look at someone who already brought it up and type into Google World War I video games. There's like 50 at least.
Anyone like that's actually noteworthy? It's already bad.
Hold on.
I'm sure it's something stupid
can I
like
finish my Assassin's Creed thought now?
No.
Stratego, the video game.
These are all crap.
Hey, that's a Civil War game.
I'm just saying that there's a bunch of them.
They're here, and there's not a single one that is anything noteworthy. Like I said, Darkest of Days made it on there. Oh, Toy Soldiers actually is World War One. That is the best World War One game I know.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Finish.
Like even Battlefield 1942 mod, Battlefield 1918 got on here, and they listed it from 2011, which is completely wrong. But whatever, Wikipedia's dates are.
There's Red Orchestra in the not released section. It's a Heroes of Stalingrad mod.
Oh yeah, that never finished, I believe.
Okay, Tony, go.
Yeah.
Okay. All I was trying to say was with Assassin's Creed 3 is if they went too early in, if they jumped all the way to like World War II or something even newer or slightly older even, they're kind of limiting what they could do in the future because they're only on Assassin's Creed 3 technically. So they have to go older in time because I don't think they're going to be able to like flash backwards. Like if they were to do like a Vietnam setting, like I don't think like if that was Assassin's Creed 3, I don't think for Assassin's Creed 4 you could go back to Civil War. I think they have to kind of go historically and catch up to us as opposed to like
for the Assassin's Creed series, just like the style of it.
It could be somebody. No, you could flip sides. You could be
Well, I mean,
an
you're
actual
always used to like
Vietnamese.
running across buildings and
Yeah,
stuff.
but they
I
could
mean,
be
look-
hiding. They could be hiding in the jungle, and like
Yeah.
you don't have to necessarily automatically always be an American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be from the other side and kind of swinging through. I don't know how fuck jungles are. I've never been to one, but
He's seen George of the
off,
Jungle
like-
like twice, so
Yeah.
that's what he's going on.
I'm going
right
off
now.
like the Predator movies, and the dude's just gonna be like swinging from vines and shit, and that'll
that
could
is
work.
Vietnam apparently.
do it. That's Vietnam. That's how the war went down. It's fact.
Vine swinging. We were not expert vine swingers, so we lost.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right, this is a nice knock at EA. Not our fault though. You were voted you were given the 2012 Golden Poo Award by Consumerist.com.
Yeah.
You were the worst company of the year. More than 250,000 people thought you were. You beat out Bank of America 64%
Wow.
to 36%.
So those are the two worst companies in America to work for:
Apparently, yes.
Bank of America and EA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
The Golden Poo Award.
if you
I
go
wonder if
around,
they
like-
accepted that. If they're just like, why, thank you.
Later this week, EA has come out saying like, well, our sales is so good. I mean, like, that's what they were coming back with. Like, they still are saying that we sell more games than anybody. We're putting out quality product. We don't really care about this, is what their response was. They did like 2 or 3 responses because they got they got shit on all week, basically. Pooed on.
What?
Should say that.
One cool place, because I used to actually work for this flu shot company, and High Voltage hired the company I worked for.
Love High Voltage.
I was actually inside their
I'm
studio
gonna work
for
for them.
one day, running their flu shot for their staff, and I was talking to some of them, and they said it was a great place to work. So,
How do we
Just
get
kinda-
jobs there?
I don't know.
You have
I'm
to
going to
become
move
a
out to Hoffman
developer?
Estates eventually, and that's where
you
I'm
have to
going to
have
be looking.
skill and actually make
You ever
video games.
watched this?
Fuck yeah.
Mark Anderson, FX artist, no big deal. All right,
Shut up, Mark. No one cares about you.
plugging myself right
Inside
now.
their building is so cool. They have all the old like Hunter stuff from like the Reckoning, and like it's just that was a cool place. Sorry, I'm like thinking. Go ahead. All right.
All right, back to a sad, good story. Sex offenders from New York were banned. New York basically passed a law that Microsoft, Sony, Blizzard, EA, and a bunch of other companies all agreed to that would ban 3,500 New Yorkers from multiplayer and like basically any multiplayer experience. So they're kind of only gonna have to do some single player games. That's their only options at this point.
Oh, because they could technically be talking to children.
Yes, that's the thought process.
I could
behind
see
that.
this spreading.
Yeah.
I think that's an intrusion on civil liberties at some point. Are they banned from the internet then? Can they not use Skype? Can
That's
they
a
not
good
use
point.
anything? Can they not use Facebook? I mean, at some point, they are registered and, they'll pay their dues. I'm not trying to defend them, but I just think that...
No, we know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
I'm
We're not
pro sex offender.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. At a certain point, where do you draw the line then?
Yeah. I mean, this is already they're already being banned from their consoles. For like I said, 3,500 people are now banned gamer tags. I guess one of the either or.
Yeah, but again, what are you supposed to do as Sony or Microsoft or Blizzard or whatever?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you
when
deny
you got
that-
these people start putting pressure on you, what do you look like an evil?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, you want to ban? Okay, I guess that sounds fine. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
there's
know.
nothing you can do if you say no to that.
You look
then
even
you're-
worse.
Yeah,
because you're not banning the sex offenders.
Yeah, and sadly, that is probably the reason why it could spread as well.
Yeah, because I doubt Sony and Microsoft wanted 3,500 less gamers
Yeah,
spending
definitely
money on
not.
their networks and paying for their gold subscriptions and whatnot. They just kind of have to.
I think it's going to hurt Microsoft more because their online service costs money.
Yep. It does. It's true.
But it's better.
Rock on.
Pokemon Coliseum is coming to us on June 18th. Coliseum. Conquest. Why did I say Coliseum?
I know,
Conquest.
that's why I
that
looked
was
at you
Nintendo
immediately.
64.
Yeah.
That's why I looked at you immediately.
Yeah,
I'm like,
my
what?
microphone blocks my computer sometimes, so I just kind of finish off the words and it
Yeah.
didn't look about right. So yeah, June 18th. Since early March, this game has already sold 172,000 copies in Japan. The game is set in... Oh man, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm so bad with Japanese names. Ramsey? Yeah, sure. Throw that one.
Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
Twice.
Which is basically a mimic of feudal Japan, and will have historic figures like Oda, Nobu Agata, and just for the fun of messing up more names, UCG Kenshi.
I love the look on his face when he said that.
You're going to take control of a young warlord who uses Pokemon and plays kind of like a Disgaea or a Final Fantasy Tactics. And also, Pokemon fans, you do have White and Black still coming this fall, with Conquest being in the summer.
I love tactics games.
Yeah, it's a weird direction for Pokemon.
This might be my first real Pokemon game that
Really?
I actually spend time on.
It's interesting. It's going to change up the formula of what a
It's because
Pokemon
it's
is.
tactics.
Are you telling me you haven't played or you weren't sucked into Pokemon Blue or Yellow?
You know, ironically
Yellow
enough,
and
I
Red.
have a Game Boy Color emulator on my phone. I've been playing Pokemon Blue.
I've been doing Fire Red on my phone. Good stuff. Tony is not.
Shut up,
playing.
Tony.
I've never played a
Horror?
Pokemon game. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, look
I'm
at,
Alright.
getting into
look at
it.
these old guys here not
Try.
playing the
I
game.
try.
There's so many directions Pokemon can go, and I don't think this crossover is a good idea. We've been covering it at Pokemon Dungeon, but it's not something that I'm
Pokemon
in.
Dungeon? Why was I
course.
not informed of this?
We've got a whole network of sites.
Oh, man.
See?
They have a whole network of dungeons.
Yes,
Oh,
only dungeon.
clever wordplay. Love it.
Oh man, some bad Gears of War news. Gears of War Exile is canceled. I know everyone's like, "What? Gears of War Exile?" This was a Gears of War Connect project that Cliffy B came out this week and said it's no longer going to be developed at the Cary, North Carolina studios. And
Actually, wasn't it a rumored Connect? Like,
It was
they didn't
a
know
ru-
exactly what it was going to be.
yeah, there was
right?
rumors about it. Nothing really ever came out. It was supposed to be a rail shooter from what the only thing I ever really found about it was.
Yeah, it's the last thing we need is another fucking on the rails.
And a Darksiders
Goddamn
dungeon? You need an
browsing right
Uncharted
now,
dungeon.
Oh, no.
Tony can help.
It's true.
I don't think there's a fan base for a community specifically for Uncharted.
I don't know.
There's fans, but it's not. There's no. I don't
Yeah,
think
whatever.
the lore.
It's
There's no
not
multi.
important.
I mean, the multiplayer. I don't
Oh,
know.
I love the
I don't
multiplayer
think
in
it-
Uncharted 3. Speaking of Uncharted 3, we
Don't
should
let
play
them talk
Uncharted
you into
3 this
making
week.
sites.
Yeah, I know, right?
Unless you want to make a forward-compatible
He knows
dungeon.
what he's doing.
For
Alright.
compatible dungeon.
That's gonna get some hits for the wrong reasons. All right. With that in mind, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 trailer leaked today on their website and then was taken down. It had a date of April 28th, 2012 on the trailer.
Call of Duty.
Wait.
In April.
Yeah, I know.
Not November?
No, of this
April?
year too, of 2012. That's
The
why
trailer was dated.
Yeah,
April.
the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So like,
I was like,
it
that's
came-
not clearly.
Basically,
fan-
all it
okay,
was
got
was like it came up with the name, then the date, and then the date was the 28th of this month.
This is
year.
exactly what happened to Modern Warfare 3. When it initially leaked, it was that screenshot. They denied it for about 3 days, and afterwards they're just like, you know what, fuck it. We're getting so much press coverage right now. I don't even know. We've hit on this all the time. I don't know why they even like pretend that it's not happening. Just
Yeah. There's
the
no
next
secrecy
day
behind Call of
after you
Duty.
release your game, just announce the next one and
Yeah.
start taking pre-orders because you'll sell a gazillion of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many
Stop
people
hiding
would
it.
reserve the next one when they're getting the one that's out that day?
Yeah.
So many people.
They know they're getting their yearly edition anyway, so
So many people.
I think that might affect DLC downloads and such, though, because they're thinking, oh, wait, another one's coming. Maybe I shouldn't spend money on this one. So I think that's
True.
why they wait.
Yeah.
I can imagine that, yeah.
yeah, I guess.
All right, Mass Effect 3 is getting an extended cut DLC that will be coming for free this summer, and Tony hit my mic.
Dick.
What a dick.
Asshole.
Just trying to
Oh.
fuck that kid.
Ah, yes. All right, it is not changing the ending. BioWare did come out this week. They're not changing the ending. Get over it.
Hooray!
Yeah. All right.
Yay.
What it's going to do is going to add a lot of cut cinematic sequences, and it's actually going to have an epilogue scene. So you might have to refinish the game to watch them, I guess, or just have a save at the end. That probably works too. This will be the first DLC coming to Mass Effect, and so far the only one that's planned. and probably will be the only one planned. But we'll never know. Also, going back to Gears of War developer, Epic announces its next game will be a PC-only title with a 2013-2014 release date, depending on when Fortnite comes out. No real other information about it just yet. But
with that, with the Mass Effect 3 stuff, I think like people are gonna like start thinking that uproar that they caused on the web is actually gonna work, but like the way DLC works is that's probably been in in development for months, even before this uproar started. Like, because this shit all started like what, 2 weeks ago?
yeah, when it came out, basically, like a week after it came out, that's when people started.
And like I think people think like they're we won. Look, they're no, it's not.
You have to read up on it because it's not. Everyone thinks, oh, director's cut, different ending. It's not. It's not changing any story. It's just adding some more scenes. We're going to the number 2 sexy story of the week. Halo Infinity. Domain name was registered this week, and basically, from years of watching what domain names are being bought out, Halo Infinite Infinity, I guess, will probably be the next one. It was taken out by Mark Monitor, who is a brand protection agency from Microsoft. So you have more Halo to come, Halo fans.
Hooray!
Perhaps that's something maybe like Call of Duty Elite, Halo Infinity. Maybe it
took out 2 domain names.
No, we have Halo Waypoint.
Yeah, there's
Halo
already
Waypoint.
something similar to it.
And it's free.
They took out 2 domain names. It was HaloInfinity.net and HaloInfinityMultiplayer.com.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very cool.
All right. We talked about this briefly before the show started. This is the game that everyone should buy on PC coming up.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
What happened in the news when I sent you this week? About
Which
the
one
kid
was
in
that?
China.
Oh my gosh. Forgot about that. All right, you sent me that like Monday. All right, we'll add this one in first. There was a kid in China who sold his kidney. Was it kidney?
Yeah. Sold his kidney on the black market.
Yeah, go ahead.
To buy an iPhone and an iPad. And now he's suffering renal failure.
I thought the iPad, they turned out to be frauds too, like counterfeits.
There's no app for renal failure.
No.
So this 17-year-old kid sold his kidney on the black market, got $3,500 American dollars, when the asking price for a kidney is $35,000.
This was to get an iPad?
To get an iPad and an iPhone.
Aren't they developed in China?
They send them out.
Actually, Thailand.
Thailand.
We covered these for the first 3 weeks of the podcast.
That was our first continual story about suicide and iPads.
Guys jumping off buildings. It's so fucked up. Jesus.
So our show started. That was our news. That kept us going.
Here's an interesting thing about this story is what he did was technically a crime, although 5 years ago it wouldn't have been, because the human organ trade wasn't banned in China until 2007.
Whoops.
2007.
So is he going to jail for this too and die?
Apparently,
That'd be
yes.
Hope one happens first. All right, can I go on with my story? Anyone else have anyone to add in?
No, I just wanted to make sure you covered that, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. All right, PC game everyone should buy.
No.
Shut up, Joe.
You shut up.
Notch reveals a game. It's called...
Not doing it. He invented Minecraft. I'm not doing it.
Note to everyone. Kill Joe.
I got knives.
Noted.
Noted. All right. It is called OX10C. Currently, right now, at least. I have registered my username on there, so... But what are you guys talking about? You guys are being stupid. I hate everything.
You can message me on Facebook. They won't hear it.
I could. Please continue.
All right. The game, right now, it's set in a parallel universe where space travel is only for corporations and the rich. And
that is bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Rich always get the best shit.
That is bullshit.
And the incorrect development of a deep sleep cell has rendered a number of the population asleep for longer than intended. Waking up in the future, the deep sleepers find a universe on the brink of extinction. The ships you fly have... what's cool about it is you get ships, and they only have they have generators on them. but to run something like a cloak, you have to use up nearly all your power. You have to like turn off the lights. You have to basically, almost shut down the ship just to use the cloak. And it's going to basically take up all the power of the ship, so you have to kind of watch what you're using. So it is going to have space battles against players and computers, as well as mining, trading, and looting, which is going to be cool because I like games like this in space, just like Freelancer was, which was awesome. Developed by Microsoft and someone else, I don't remember at this point. Early 2000 game. The game is said to also have an advanced economy, and it will be able to be played in single player or multiplayer. And so far, it sounds like there might be a monthly fee. So I'm looking forward to it because this could be a really good game.
I'm not doing another monthly fee game.
Yeah, that's
last
the
one
only
I did.
thing.
You guys all bitched out.
I played for longer than you did.
Nuh-uh.
You got it a month after I.
So, I kept playing for like a month and a half after everyone else stopped.
Talking about Star Wars.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I hate
but
you all.
If it doesn't do the monthly fee, I'd be a lot more interested in this because they're just better that way. I don't like to pay afterwards.
I don't understand what he's saying.
All right.
What, Tony? Use your words.
Okay. Well, we're having trouble because I forgot to put it in, honestly, for the This Week in Gaming History, and me and Joe are trying to go back and forth to find the page, and I can't find it.
Well, you said you found it, and I was like, okay, I'll stop
I did think I found it.
So here you go.
And it was the wrong link.
Yeah, I'm on my last story here, so you.
Yeah,
you guys-
please keep going.
We'll
That's
stall.
why we've been trying to do this for the last
okay. That's why
minute
we've
and a
been getting
half
weird
to make
looks
it
and all that.
seamless transition.
Oh yeah, well now you just messed
Yeah,
it
now
up
we
and
fucked
everyone
it up,
knows.
and I'm not going to edit it out because I'm lazy.
Okay, we have it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's the weekly stories. Then I'm gonna make everyone buy some O2 or OX10C. Joe and Tony.
I'm not buying it.
I'm using your card and buying it anyway.
Nah.
No, that is the plan. So yeah, there you go. Sexy stories of the week. Mostly sexy because Call of Duty finally made its way back.
You should buy that other game that I told you to get.
Which game?
It's only $8.
Which game?
I don't know. The Nexium. Nexus.
Oh yeah, that one.
Whatever.
I want to see if we can do stuff in there.
What?
Machinima stuff.
Huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We can.
Really?
They keep doing it.
Awesome. All right. Cool.
Because
We're gonna have
all
Machinima
the
soon, and we might use Nexus. We'll see.
all the developers have been dropping videos all over for the PC version.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Stuff to do this summer. Look forward to it, everybody. All right, you go on. Oh, wait. Are you ready for this?
I have one. I mean, the biggest thing that came out for this week in gaming history is
Right? This week was lame.
Yeah, it's Snake's Revenge, which came out in 1990. It also came out for this.
it's been lame.
It came out on its own little handheld from Tiger, if anybody remembers that.
I do.
All the 80s
I used to
kids,
have the
that
Mortal
company
Kombat
80.
one.
So there was the one for the NES, I think, and then this one that I'm looking at right now, which was really low tech from Tiger, and yeah, those both came out. This is from 1990.
Snake's Revenge is not even considered. Like, I know Kojima, he doesn't even consider it part of the series. He had nothing to do with it.
It was like a spin-off, yeah.
Yeah, but it was not. It was not Kojima. He was not involved with the creation.
There's
of
actually a picture of him on this website, and it has a quote from him saying, "I really don't like saying this, but it wasn't up to my standards."
that. Yeah.
That's the
Exactly
first
what you
sentence in the
just
quote.
said.
Well, he didn't even like the original one for the NES, Metal Gear, because they changed it. They added so much from the Japanese version to the NES version. I believe they've actually since released the original Metal Gear, like the Japanese versions. I think there was
They put on the HD collection. There is the first,
Right.
second. There's all of them basically except 4. And those ones, I actually did all of them, and the first 2 were, I guess, my favorite out of them. I don't know. I just suck at Metal Gear 3. That was just awful. You want to see a bad player? Watch me play Metal Gear, like the newer ones.
Are you talking about Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
All right. Shall we, Joseph?
Hold on, I'm distracted.
Ah, man, so distracted.
Here, Tony, do the emails.
Okay. We got an email question this week from Brendan. And he wants to know, I guess we're going to do a quick roundtable about it, the origin of your either, your gamer tag or your Steam ID or your PSN login or whatever, how you came up with your name. So, just go in the same order we do for the other.
Sure. All right, me. Well, my Steam name is my first and last name combined. It's just Manderson. And let's see, gamertag Urban Assault 8s. The origin of that is growing up, I used to love Limp Bizkit, and that Rolling song has two versions. One is called, I don't remember, Air Assault, but the one everyone knows has a hashtag Urban Assault.
This is going to be our closing song.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so that is the origin. And then 8 at the end is just my favorite. It's my hockey number, my old baseball number, and my favorite number. So that's the origin of mine.
That was my baseball number, too.
High five.
We can't both do that.
I actually do have I haven't renewed my gamer tag, but it's QND Armo. And this goes all the way back to 2002. My initial gamer tag was Armo King 13, and I was actually one of the first people ever to get an Xbox Live subscription back in 2002. And I competitively played Unreal Championship, and my clan was QND, Quick and Deadly.
Fucking
And
love Unreal.
we all got matching gamer tags eventually, and mine was QND Armo, and I kept it even though we quit that clan like 8 years ago.
Very cool.
BOC rocks. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Explain.
Blue Oyster Cult rocks. Blue Oyster Cult. And the reason this came up was when I got my original... I didn't get Xbox Live until the 360. When I got my original 360, I got home, put in a CD, happened to be Blue Oyster Cult, and it's like, hey, make a gamer tag. Yep. Real original.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now it is up to Mr. Tomato.
My Steam, PSN, and Xbox are all the same. It's Jerker 1015. That's the thing. No, that's the thing. See, everybody giggles and everything, so it's perverted, and it really actually has very innocent origins. Back in my youth, dicks. When I was really, really young, I used to play this game on PC. It was called Descent. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. I know there's like 6 of them now, but the original one,
you're old.
There was this really, really weird way that you had to reload, where you had to actually make this like entire like arm jerking motion to like cock the entire shotgun back. And I don't know when I was younger, it was just, I don't know, like it just made sense to me to become Jerker. And so it wasn't online. I wasn't playing online yet. It was just single player, because this is back in like the early 90s. So it was just Jerker. Then when I actually signed on to Xbox Live, Jerker was taken, just plain Jerker. So I added 1015,
I wonder why.
which is just my birthday. So honestly, it's now it's hilarious, and I love people.
It is hilarious.
I love telling people. They're like, "Oh, that's pretty close," but it really didn't start out that way. It was never meant to be like perverted like that.
Mark can't stop laughing. It's fucking great.
Oh man,
I like it because now people look at it both, but it's like it really didn't start out that way. But I'm kind of glad that people might think it is now. I don't know.
Who is?
I think people people hear it and they're just like, you just can't stop whacking it. No, that's not. That's not it at all. It's not how it's. I just stuck with it because I like it now, and it's never going to change.
What, Mark?
John from like 2 weeks ago at this point was
Crusty lube job. Hasty lube job.
Hasty lube job. That would have been the question.
Yeah, that would have been the week to get this question. So. But yeah, that's the origin of mine. So
we should just call him and put him on speaker.
How'd you get a gamer tag? Well, Jiffy Lube.
All right, you want to hop into rumors then?
No, but I suppose.
You have to.
Can I number these and you guys just throw out numbers? Throw out a number.
4,
8,
1 through 5.
12,
1 through
2,
1 through 5.
69, still 69.
Niner.
4,
2,
8.
Thanks, Tony.
100,000.
No, wait, I don't
2.
want to do that one. Okay.
Square root of 3.
Infinite. Pi.
Too late. We're going to talk about the Xbox 720 dev kit.
Woo! Yeah, I like
which
this.
Apparently went out this week. No, last week.
Rock on.
Whatever.
Old news.
Supposedly it's gonna hit.
You just got onto that? Keep going. Keep going. Do you want me to finish the story off
Xbox
for
720.
So the Xbox 720 actually shipped out this week, and or last week, according to Joe.
Old news.
Old news, yeah. So basically, it had a Blu-ray player in it, as far as Joe's told me. If Joe ever wants to finish, if Joe's left.
I still think that's bullshit with the Blu-ray. Like, why would they use Sony tech inside of Microsoft? Like, there's no point. Blu-rays, like, it's not obsolete by any means. It's still new tech, but it's not. You're not dependent on a disk drive anymore. The way the future is all going to be downloadable content anyway. It just seems to me like, why would they invest heavily? I don't know.
I remember going back like 4 years when there was still the HD DVD Blu-ray competition.
Yeah.
I remember Microsoft made a statement saying, like, there was a question asking them, what if HD DVD fails and Blu-ray becomes a superior one? And they basically answered saying, well, if that becomes the premier technology, we'll include that in future versions of our Xbox. And then they eventually just completely abandoned that and just went digital. And I think when we get to 2015, whatever, 2014, whenever this console comes out, people are not going to care about those discs. It's going to be digital. It'll be on the hard drive.
Blu-ray's old too now. I mean, there's Blu-ray out. It's really expensive, but that's what's out right now. So, and those things hold like 200 gigs a disc.
There's never
something like that.
I still think they'll end up doing Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
It's not time yet for full digital.
Oh, I don't think it is either, but I just don't see a point in them like having to pay a royalty to Sony for every single thing that they put out. Just Microsoft can just as easily, they could go back to cartridges, or they could do whatever the hell they want. There's no demand, there's no having to go to Blu-ray.
People who want a media center won't be buying Xboxes.
Why not?
Because it won't have a Blu-ray player on it.
Not everything's digital now, man.
Yeah, but they won't be able to watch
everything's
the Blu-ray
Netflix
movies
and
that
everything's
they have.
Amazon.com, instant streaming. Everything's fucking buying it off the marketplace off Zune.
But they still won't be able to watch the Blu-rays they already have.
It's not. They can't watch them right now, and Xbox sells a shit ton of fucking Xboxes.
Not the point.
Exactly the point.
It's going to make more people buy Xboxes if it has. This is a stupid argument.
No, it's not going to make more people buy Xboxes. Blu-rays are like $40 now. They're not $500 like they were when they first came out. You get a Blu-ray for $40-$50 now. You don't need that included.
You're talking about the player?
Yeah.
Players are cheap.
Yeah.
You don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Nobody's going to care in a few years. I remember there was this big deal back in 2006 when they announced that the Nintendo Wii didn't have a DVD player.
Yes, it sold over 100 million units.
Nobody cares that didn't has a Nintendo Wii player. And nowadays, you look back, it's like, who cares? Even if they did have a DVD player, nobody would use it because Netflix, because digital. And this is last generation. Think one generation further.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I personally, if they want to not pay royalties, I say they go back to cartridge. There's zero loading time. The cartridges could be built right now with way more fucking gigabyte capacity than a Blu-ray.
It's a higher manufacturing cost, though.
That's the only thing.
They would never do that.
Talking about like the solid states.
No, just
like the
Vita. The Vita one,
like the
cartridge.
SD. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why there's loading times. It makes no sense to me. It's a fucking cartridge, but
yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
Well, see, if it doesn't make sense, how would it work?
Because cartridges are instantaneous.
Yeah, I know, but
not supposed to be loading. I don't know what Sony did and why they did it.
Yeah, I mean, but that probably. I mean, if it is a case where it can be instant, then yes, but. I mean, the Vita maybe it doesn't have enough power for it. I don't know.
The Vita's so weird because you have to first install the game, even though it's running off a cartridge, and then there's still loading times. What the hell are you installing it for, and why? It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
If it's instant, I'd love it. But if it's not, I don't see a point.
Well, think back to the N64 or the Genesis or the Super.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They were instant.
Yeah, that was instant.
Loading times didn't really start until PS1.
Yeah.
Or actually Sega CD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philips CDI.
Yeah. But, you know, that's a disc problem. So, I mean, they can easily... It's not like they can cap off the size of a cartridge anymore, and it would also possibly slow down piracy. I don't really know how that works. I don't know how you rip a cartridge. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it's not as easy as a CD or a DVD.
There's definitely a way to do it because they did it with all the DS games.
Yeah, all the DS games, dude. One card.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It'll be pirated. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
They got rid of a lot of loading times with one of the Grand Theft Autos. That it would like just start loading for the direction you're headed. No one knows what I'm talking about.
No idea what you're talking about.
Which one?
I know the first,
Remember Grand Theft Auto 3 when you changed cities? It would just go into this loading screen for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then Vice City had the loading time too. San
They were all
Andreas.
very short ones.
A lot of games have that preloading. That's why
Yeah.
some games you can actually open up the tray and the game's still playing.
Yeah.
Because it's preloaded and
Well,
it's running off the
Not on
download.
an Xbox.
well, the first game to
Yeah, that'll
fully
kick you
take out
backward.
loading off disc was actually Naughty Dog's Jack and Daxter. That was a huge open world game that never required loading.
Yeah.
Or I think it was just the initial load up, like you were saying, and then as soon as it loaded up, you could. I mean, that thing had world after world after world after world, and you never had to stop for even a second.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
jump
understand
instantaneously.
why companies don't do that.
I don't know
It's
enough about.
probably not
I don't know enough about the
Easy.
development.
Probably very
Yeah,
resource heavy.
Eh, whatever. All right, back to this dev kit.
yeah, we totally strayed from what. Yeah, so does that answer your question? No.
No Blu-ray.
16 core IBM PowerPC CPU.
That's out of my wheelhouse of understanding. That's
I don't
you
know
two.
what that means.
That's these two. They're the.
Does it
yeah.
work?
Nope.
Does it look
It's-
pretty?
Yeah.
It's PowerPC. Ew. And a
Well,
AMD
it's just
Radeon
the dev
HD
kits for
7000
now, at
series
least.
graphics card.
Wait, what was the graphics card? Go ahead.
7000 series
7,000.
AMD.
Okay.
That's really nice.
That's a
Yeah, no,
good jump
it's-
from where we are now.
Yeah.
But who knows if it's going to be true.
Yeah, I think that's more
'Cause some of the dev kits
that's
will
like
vary.
That's like a $400 card, isn't it? I think that's more wishful thinking than
Well, yeah, the dev
what's actually coming out.
dev kits will vary from the actual,
What's getting pumped out?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they need the more, they need more processing
Yeah.
power
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Pick a number 1 through 4.
8. God damn it!
3.
I messed it up again.
3. So we're going to talk about a Wii U potential game that's going to supposedly compete with Gran Turismo and Forza.
Not gonna happen.
It's called Mario Kart.
Yep.
No, the entire article was saying how Nintendo had dominated the kart racing for basically forever.
I still think they're
They
dominating
still do.
kart racing.
Yeah.
The only competitor is Mod Nation. That's not big enough to
Yeah.
take out
Yeah,
Mario
no,
Kart.
I know. It's the article saying that they've dominated that for forever. But whoever it is, it is Nintendo, is making a game that they're calling Concept Grand Prix in development by Lucid Games. And
Get rid of the
it's-
concept. Just call it Grand Prix.
right? And it's going to compete with Forza and Gran Turismo, which to me nothing will ever compete with Forza.
No, well, we'll have to see what they start to pump
Polyphony
out, but
and Turn 10 have decades of experience. I don't think Nintendo's just going to come out of the gate and pump out a racer as realistic as those two. It might, I'm not saying in time. It may trail for the first edition or two.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, that's
in
the other
time they can
thing
catch
is-
up, but
the Wii doesn't have a big driver based community.
Because there's no good driver game on it.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
well, it's an interesting concept because they could take that new Wii U tablet controller thingy, whatever, and
Whatever it's gonna be.
that could already be your peripheral. That could be your steering wheel.
It could be.
You know what I mean? And you could just I don't know exactly how it is because I've never had my hands on the Wii U, obviously. But if I don't know if it even works that way, but you could just turn the entire tablet, or maybe hold the tablet off to the left or the right, and that could be checking your mirrors. Because I know you could point it off screen and actually, look through the tablet screen and see stuff that's not going to be pointed at your television. So
Yeah.
it could be a really interesting concept, but I don't know.
I don't
It'll be
think
interesting
it'll
to see.
compete on the same standards.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No.
So it's
1 through
left.
3.
1 through 3.
Pi.
now.
Pi 3.
0.14.
You got all of them in that one.
No, you
Not a
didn't get 2.
No, it keeps going.
Okay.
Infinite.
Rumor: Sony Super Smash Brothers game called PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Dumbest name ever.
Yeah, way too long.
They don't have enough characters that are unique enough to make that successful, in my opinion. Exclusive Sony characters.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
They're basically gonna have
They're gonna be reaching.
Sackboy,
They got
A bunch of maybe
Nathan Drake.
multi-platformers.
they got Jack, they got
be
Daxter,
awesome.
they got Ratchet and Clank, they got Nathan Drake, they have Crash Bandicoot, which they kind of sold, they kind of hoard them out, but
Well, can they go like multi-platform characters as well, or is it just going to be, first party only?
That's a good question because the article didn't really.
Sure,
say
Snake will be
anything.
in there.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, because you can go like
Kratos.
Oh yeah, for sure, Kratos.
Yeah, definitely. He
You know,
probably
if you got 8 or 10 guys, you can make an okay fighter.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll compete with Smash Brothers, but
That'd be great.
They could
Kratos beating the shit out of Sackboy.
Why? He's just emoting the whole time.
oh man, it's good stuff. I take Ratchet over anybody. I don't know where that guy had all those guns, but
They'll explain that later.
yeah.
When you're older, we'll get to that.
Dumb name, but I actually heard a little bit about this because one of the guys that was testing it, one of the kids that got pulled into the research group, actually took a photo with his cell phone.
Yep.
And then
He's never getting a job again.
and then
There.
put it all over the web. So I don't know if they caught exactly who did it, but I know that's a huge
That's
no-no.
awful.
So, and that's how the title got released. Because I mean, there's been whispers about this game coming out for.
Oh,
for
speaking of beta, fuck you. Who did Guild Wars?
I didn't do
I love how you
Guild Wars.
storm in
ArenaNet.
yelling and-
ArenaNet. Fuck you, ArenaNet. I want my
okay.
Guild Wars 2 beta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
go
screw
ahead.
those guys. Wait, are we screwing them?
Because they didn't give me a beta.
Oh, well, call them up. Call them up
Give
right
me the
now.
phone number.
1847. Fuck you.
Okay.
1.
86753.
They know our area code.
Ah, damn it.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Uh-oh, what?
What do we got? 1 and 2 left.
Huh?
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Let's go with 1.
Zingy.
-1.
Well, Tony knows what they are,
Yeah, I do.
so you pick. What one do you want me to do
I don't
last?
remember what's left. Because you're narrowing them. One. One's
It's a
good. Let's do
50-50
one.
pick and takes them a minute to choose it.
One.
The one that's at the top.
Yes, true.
Okay, the one that's at the top. LucasArts is going to unveil a Wii U MMO at E3 this year.
Meh.
Meh.
I don't know how.
I like LucasArts, but meh.
They're-
Multi-platform.
What? No,
multi-platform.
stop it, Mark.
Cross-platformer too. We all
The article is actually saying that if you look at the floor plan for E3, there's like a dedicated section. I checked it out. The floor plan for E3 took forever to fucking load, but it is there.
really.
Yeah, a big section of
You saw all the
LucasArts.
Battlefield 3, Battlefront 3 stuff that leaked.
Battlefront 3 MMO.
You know what? LucasArts
Yeah.
has been ridiculously quiet as of late.
Right?
Well, like this last week, though, all the Battlefront 3 stuff that was supposedly going to be made was like leaked. It was like 20
You
minutes.
really think they do this
gameplay.
and go Wii U exclusive, or you think it's just going multi-platform?
I don't know.
Depending on what kind of game it's going to be, that's going to it might limit their market depending on what it actually turns out to be. If it turns out to be more of family related,
LucasArts always goes multi-platform.
Yeah,
Have they
that
ever
too.
made an exclusive title for anything? Everything I can think of.
N64, yes. They had the Empire. N64. There's an exclusive.
Okay.
Dark Forces was PC only, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
The idea of
it's been a long time.
The idea of an MMO on Wii U just doesn't make sense right off the bat because there's going to be so many games people are going to get at launch, and you need people to be playing an MMO for it to work.
Yeah.
And that might be a problem, I think, because this is not going to overshadow. I mean, some of the Nintendo first-party games are clearly going to.
Oh, they're gonna
overshadow.
shine. Yeah, definitely.
I don't think that'll work.
No, they need to go multi-platform. Or, I mean, they can't do that's the thing. They can't do PC right now. You have Star Wars KOTOR. I'm not KOTOR. Knights of Republic or
KOTOR 3.
Old Republic. Yeah,
It's KOTOR 3.
Yeah, KOTOR 3, MMO. But yeah, like they can't do anything on PC right now for MMOs because their whole market for Star Wars is at a different company, so they have to go console.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's the only one that can do a MMO on a Nintendo console, especially at a launch.
The other problem is, I mean, Nintendo, you don't know about online community yet. They really.
Right.
I mean, the Wii is connected online,
Not really.
but it's
barely.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have like that base that, and obviously the Wii U is going to have a Nintendo Online. It's going to be their first like shot into it. But I mean, how do you put that kind of server stress on a system that's never been you're developing an
That
entire
would be
game
horrible, probably,
on the
depending on
hopes that.
how much they actually sell of it. It could be absolutely a disaster at the beginning.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what if there's a lot of bugs in their system that take months to work out of Nintendo's online?
Well, if it's just server
then-
space, that's a few days, but
How are you going to sell the game if your whole shit's broken? You know what I mean?
Looks at Sony from the network being down.
Sony's getting better. God damn it. All right. Last one.
Last one
8.
is shut up, Mark. A8 3850 C APU. No, okay. PS4 specs.
Yay!
A8 3850 APU, which is the processor, which for those of you who don't know is a 4-core processor at 2.9 gigahertz. Not very fast compared to what they have right now.
Yeah. They could go bigger.
Again,
Faster.
you're always going off the most modern PC stats, though.
No.
Consoles,
I'm talking about PlayStation itself. The PS3 has an 8-core processor, and they're going to downgrade to a 4-core processor.
yeah,
Doesn't
but
make
the
sense.
PlayStation doesn't use most of the cores like at.
Not the point. Not the point.
Should have 16 cores. Just
Right? Falling short of Xbox again.
Throw 400 cores in there. It doesn't like it doesn't. I don't know.
They all do one thing.
Yeah. It's just the way that they design the system. I mean, some of that shit's just constantly off anyway. They have an excess of cores in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay with 4 cores.
No, I think it will be too. Radeon HD 7670.
That's fancy schmancy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be on par with the 360.
What
Mark,
about the rumor that the
Mark.
graphics cards are going to be the same?
they probably will be.
I think
That
they're going
would-
to be close because Xbox always goes AMD, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's cheaper. and
Yeah.
And then I think Sony's going to do it too because I think they're getting pressured from the developers because making the same game.
Well, if they're going to have
They
the
were all-
same graphics card, that's going to be ridiculous.
That's just going to be so much easier for every game
Yeah.
developer.
That's
to do
the
the
whole
same
point.
graphics
They
card.
want it more because I've read it many times. They literally had to develop the same game in 2 different directions for it to go for the PS. It wasn't as
Yep.
easy as simply porting it over. So
Mark, you know about DirectX. What version are we at?
11.
Okay, that's what they're going to use.
Yeah.
very cool.
With 1 gigabyte of dedicated video RAM.
That's awesome. We're at 9 right now, so it's a big. 10 was a huge advance, and 11 was another good advance as well. So it's gonna be a big, nice looking.
Big jump forward.
Yeah, big jump forwards basically.
Yeah.
Rock on. So do it for rumors. Yes.
Rumor has it that Mark is buying us all new video games tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, Mark.
Mark's not here right now. Please leave a message after this.
Does that mean it's time for topic of the week?
No.
Yes, it is.
Music,
No.
You just
music,
tell us.
music.
No, because
Cue music.
you wanted to add in another thing. I'm a jig.
I did. What I was thinking we should do is start telling people about the cheapest games, like what we found with sales and stuff throughout the week. I know I frequent Best Buy, and Mark's still employed at GameStop, so between all of us, we can try to keep a lookout for you guys, because I come across some sick deals sometimes, and, you know, if you guys are waiting around, maybe we could...
Well, right now, GameStop sales all just ended on Saturdays, so it doesn't work for me this week. And buy 2 get 1 added on Saturday.
Yeah, that just
there
ended
was
too.
a bunch of sales though for spring break week, but there's no sales at GameStop right now. Actually,
Best Buy's got Assassin's Creed, the new one, for $20 still.
Really?
They also have the brand new Tiger Woods for $10 off on both editions. The regular one is $50, and for $60 you could pick up the one with all the extra courses.
Go buy that.
And Mass Effect
Xbox.
3
Go
is
buy it.
$50. That's what I saw at Best Buy this week. So
And
if
then-
you're trying to save some money on some of those newer titles, there you go.
and then if you're doing the Tiger Woods, you should totally join the Flying Turtle Squad
Country Club.
Country Club.
Yeah.
Is that what we're called?
That's what we're
When I finally
called.
get that game.
No, that's what we're called.
I'll get it.
us.
Yeah, sure you will.
Calm down, sir.
Hurry up.
I poured like a G into that PC I'm building right now, just like this past week.
No, you stole.
I'm out of money.
No, you got $130 off of that.
Yeah, so that's Comps USA's fault.
Tony's a thief.
There's also Skyward Swords on sale at Toys R Us for $29.99 right now.
There you go. So if you haven't picked that up yet, that's yeah.
And I mentioned earlier, Darksiders is $4.99, downloadable on Amazon.
Yeah. And we should start probably for next week. We should probably see what Steam had going because we can let people know the ridiculous. Or Joe's gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
Because
midweek was the X3 franchise sale. Right now, I know they have something going on with a few games at this point.
Game called Waves is $5. I don't know what the fuck it is.
there's like a million games on sale, right? Just anything that's
it's like
ridiculously
20
cheap,
or so,
70% off or whatever.
All the Age
Still
of
the good
Empires online game expansions are 50% off.
Age of Empires is free to play, but
Yes.
paid for stuff.
Magic the Gathering Duel Planewalker 2012 is on sale for $6.79.
That's pretty cheap.
A bunch of Magic deck packs. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Good stuff. So go pick up any of that
Holy
stuff.
shit,
if
there's
you guys
3
have been
pages
waiting.
though.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's gonna take forever on Steam. Every
Yeah,
week.
we
we
just
gotta
do the
pick
good
and
ones.
we gotta
No,
pick and
it's-
choose the biggest ones.
It's a bunch of Magic expansions.
Yeah, they got
Oh,
those.
and my game.
Nexus, $1 off.
Yeah, $9. $9 if you pre-order it until May 3rd.
Oh, it's 10 if you don't.
Otherwise, it's 10. Just go pre-order it.
An
now.
extra buck.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Everyone, pre-order now.
Do it.
Do it, Mark.
All right. After I buy my Book of Mormon tickets.
I just got those in the mail today.
Oh, you jerk! I'm going on a Thursday
Suck it.
in February.
We're going
No one
like on a
cares.
random Tuesday afternoon because they were
Dude, yeah, they're
cheapest.
like $20 cheaper.
Yeah,
so I
fuck
can't
that.
wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Um,
We're going to Broadway. Me and Tony.
True. Good, Joseph.
no.
I think you need to start
Okay.
thinking about that theme.
So I'm good to go.
Oh, he's good. He's thought
I
about
do
it.
it. I do it on the spot. I just make that shit up as I go along. So we're gonna jump into Tony's topic of the week, dude. Why do you always mess with the mixer? Just leave. Boop, 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 boop. All right. For those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, let me quickly explain the topic of the week. Usually I provide a topic that my fellow podcasters and I discuss at lengths. Usually it's either controversial or it's the major story of the week. And the fun part's that I never tell them what the topic's going to be
He's
until we
a
actually
jerk.
do the segment. So yeah, it's always a surprise. Now, initially, what gave us the idea of inviting you to the show is we were having a little trouble a few weeks back with the Zelda timeline.
Yeah.
So we thought it'd be a great idea to have you come guest host. But then, so that gave me the idea of when you did come in to do a Zelda themed topic. But I put myself in your shoes, and like I'm a huge Uncharted series fan, right? And I'd love to do like an Uncharted website and be committed to that.
Jeez, why don't I put that in there?
No, I'd be committed, doing that for years and years and years, and having to do that for hours every day, 5
That's
days a
over
week.
job, jeez.
And then if I got invited to a podcast, maybe the last thing I'd want to talk about would be more fucking Uncharted. So I'm leaving it in your hands, man. I actually made 2 topic of the weeks. I have a normal one that has nothing to do with Zelda, and I have a Zelda one. So I'm leaving it completely up to you, man. Whatever you want to talk about.
Can I hear the topics before I make my decision?
No,
No,
because if you pick Zelda, the other one, I'm going to save it for next week.
Or he could just go look at the topics.
You could do that.
All right.
If you want to take a.
For the sake of my audience, I guess, for the Zelda Dungeon folks, let's go with the Zelda.
Okay, you sure? Because we'd understand if you don't want to. Okay.
No. Although,
All right.
yeah, let's
Let
go.
me scroll down because I will save this one for next week. Sweet.
Steal his laptop.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll take it.
I really didn't know what direction to, so I figured we just kind of start and roll it. I know we had the Halo one the other day, and I kind of formatted it after that one because that seemed to have worked out really well. So let's go around and favorite Zelda of all time.
Well, for me, I have not had a Nintendo in a little bit, but the last one I did do was Ocarina of Time. So I have to say that one.
Rock on. You probably need a second for this one, don't you?
No, A Link to the Past. It's easy,
Yeah.
clear cut, no thought into it. That's it. Actually, there's this running gag with me and the staff at the site where anytime I play a new game and people ask me how it is, I just immediately say, even has nothing to do, completely different genre. I say, yeah, A Link to the Past was better. In other words, saying the new game is not my favorite game of all time.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Well, for me, I'm a tie. It's either between the original, surely because that's what introduced me to the series, and A Link to the Past because that actually is my favorite. But the first one I have this like never-ending respect for. I love that game. I still know every little nook and cranny of that. I played through it so many times. I love it.
Well, what's so good about that one is that just given the time, like that was one of the first games I played when I was 3 years old. My oldest brother had a NES, and I just remembered it as the gold game. I didn't know it was Zelda.
Yeah.
And just playing it, and when I got a little bit older, there was no online, there was no guides for anything, so I'd draw my little maps myself, and I had like a giant overworld map on a notebook paper, and drawing the little maps and finding out where all the secrets are, and burning random bushes to find old man caves.
Well, I think I had like a fold-out map of the first game.
That's how it was back in the day. We didn't have internet back then. You had to wait for either the new Nintendo Power to come in the mail, or it was word of mouth between all your friends. That's how you found out secrets. That's how you figured out how to get through bosses and found game glitches and all that stuff. It was all word of mouth back then. Now, 10 seconds after the game comes up, you just look it up online and it ruins everything. You know what I mean? Stuff was cooler back then. So have you decided?
Maybe. Because I'm thinking there's one that's in the back of my head that I'm not thinking about that is my favorite. Because right now I'm tempted to say Ocarina of Time, which probably isn't going to be it.
Okay, we'll stick with that, and if you change your mind later, that's fine as well. Let's go with your...
I loved Four Swords.
Which one?
Oh, man.
Game Boy Advance? Or
the one that they let me play on the 3DS.
Oh, the anniversary edition, the new one that came out.
Sure.
That came out last September, I believe. Okay.
Sure.
Probably. No.
Did you play it single player?
I did not.
You played it with a friend, multiplayer.
Well, that's the one you could do 4 up at one time. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had 4 people, and we plowed through that game in a day.
Very cool.
I think the original Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube, you could play that single player.
Yes, and then you could play it multiplayer, but you needed the Game Boy Advance.
You needed 4 Game Boy Advances. Yep. You needed the Game Boy Advance, the GameCube. Oh, it was awful.
I liked games like that. I loved Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy game, that you would pause and look at your inventory screen on the little Game Boy Advance instead of pausing the entire game.
I did enjoy the Pokemon games that made you have to import your game from, like, I can't remember which one it was. For Coliseum, it was like that. Or Stadium, I mean.
It was a good idea, but the problem is with the GameCube version, everybody played it as a single player game. Nobody played it as a 4-player game because it was so
inconvenient.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I actually think as a single player game, that is by far the worst Zelda game as a single player game.
Oh, it's so much fun with 4 people.
Yeah, multiplayer. It's one of the best games.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's. I actually wrote an article about this exact topic about a week ago at the site, and I just can't stand the GameCube version because you were able to play it single player. I would have rather only like a tenth of the amount of people played the game, and it being only multiplayer. I would have actually preferred that.
Very cool. All right, what's your least favorite Zelda that ever came out?
Link's crossbow training.
You're opting out.
Oh, Link's crossbow training. That does not count.
Yeah. And I could go first if you guys are thinking about it. I haven't played all of the handheld ones. I've played a few of them, but all the major console ones I've played them all. So to me, my least favorite's Wind Waker.
My least favorite was probably Spirit Tracks.
Ooh. Definitely. Well, I just talked about Four Swords Adventures, the single player.
Yeah.
But as a single player game, probably the Wind Waker. It was when I say it's hard for me to say least favorite Zelda game.
I know what you're saying. I enjoyed Wind Waker too, but it was just.
I wouldn't even say just enjoyed it. It is probably my favorite game for the GameCube, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
But it is probably my least favorite game because I think there was too many what I call boring aspects to it. The sailing, too much fetch quests towards the end of the game too, and it drags.
It's fillers. You're just trying to add time to the campaign. You're just. Yeah.
I'll say this much: that I've only beaten 3 of the Zelda games.
Unacceptable.
Sorry. Seriously, get on that.
No, you give them all to me.
Okay.
I'll play.
I have them all. I'll give you whatever.
Do you have the Game Boy ones?
Let's try. I have them.
Well, wait. That question did not include the CDI games.
The what?
Least favorite Zelda games, the Philips CDI. unlicensed games by Philips. Oh, you don't even know about them?
No.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Leave it at that.
Yes, continue.
Okay. How about what do you if you think they even have one? Feel free to opt out of this as well. But most overrated Zelda title of all time.
Twilight Princess,
Same.
for sure.
Even though it's probably my third favorite, this game gets thrown around as like the greatest game of all time, and it was good. And for me, it's Ocarina of Time. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's my third favorite Zelda. I love it. It's a great game. It really is. But the amount of praise that this game gets, I don't know. I don't feel it's deserved. It's way overrated now. Everybody's looking like I'm psycho. I think I'm alone in the world. That's fine.
No, you're not alone. No. In fact, more recently, there's a resurgence in the Zelda community. A lot of people actually think Majora's Mask, the second game for the 64, was actually the superior Zelda title on that console. There's actually some good claims for it. But Ocarina of Time was just so revolutionary, and that's why it's viewed so highly. And I suppose it hasn't aged as well. Looking back at it, comparing to all the modern games now, and you're like, oh, that game on the 64. Granted, they remade it recently, but you got to keep things in the context of the time it released.
Yeah.
So, by today's standards, there's like very little story, and the graphics are awkward, and even the controls not perfect. But, at the time, that game was just great.
It was great, yeah.
I don't think it's the best game of all time, considering it's not even my favorite Zelda game, but...
It's exactly what I'm trying to say, yeah, because it just automatically gets the title as the greatest Zelda game. I don't think it is.
You know what pissed me off was that's the game that they chose for the 3DS.
Well, they might do the Mask after.
They will. It's inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
There's actually a... Eiji Aonuma, one of the lead developers, he actually mentioned in an interview, this was last summer, he said, if the fans have interest in such a thing, maybe we'll go ahead and develop it. And then this led to a campaign in the Zelda community called Operation Moonfall, which is sort of a spin-off Operation Rainfall. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And now it has several, tens of thousands of signatures, and they've commented on it a number of times. They have said that they'd rather do a new 3DS Zelda title before they do a remake.
A remake, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's inevitable.
I would like them to do a new one.
Okay. Now, how's about the most underrated Zelda?
Link to the Past.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know how you can call that underrated, considering it's rated so highly.
Well, because out of all the people I talk to about Zelda, which actually is not that many, no one ever mentions Link to the Past. Ever.
You see, there's so many different crowds within the Zelda.
Really,
yeah,
it's your age group.
That too.
Yeah,
you jumped into it late because you're the youngest out of us.
N64 basically.
So you don't even you probably look back at the first one, like, the fuck is this? But for us, it was like
I missed out on the original.
That opening screen where you walk in and it's like, take this, it's like
it's dangerous to go alone.
Yeah. Ugh.
For underrated, this is a weird question because it's the age groups. Anybody over, I'd say the age of maybe 25 to 30, anybody over that, they probably view Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, as one of the best NES games. Or at least, I was...
a side-scroller,
Yeah. But the younger generation who played maybe Ocarina of Time first, or Twilight Princess, or Wind Waker, they look back at that game and they see it as so radically different from the rest of the series, and they think it's the black sheep of the series, and it's awful, so difficult, nobody likes it, and so to the younger crowd, I would say Adventure of Link is the most underrated game.
Okay.
Although I'd go even further and say games like the Oracle of Ages, which is a Game Boy Color game, a lot of people that are not hardcore Zelda fans that don't play the handheld games, or they see them as sort of secondary, and I think that game is just absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite Zelda games, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. But
are those the ones with the red and blue stickers?
Well, yes.
On the cartridge?
Yeah, Oracle Seasons, and they had you can play Oracle of Ages, then you can get the password, put it in Oracle of Seasons, and you have a combined game ending, and there's all sorts of interlinking things. It was sort of like Pokemon Blue and Red in a sense, with the connections.
Neat.
And like a lot of people didn't play those games, so that's why I would say those were underrated.
This the reason I asked was because I have this, but I can't read everything.
For me, I think it's kind of, even you kind of touched on it earlier too with Majora's Mask, because like you said, there is a resurgence right now and people going back, but at the time I grew up during this age. I was living it, and when that came out, people were mad, and that I love that game. The whole concept of like getting timed, basically, and maybe screwing it up and playing the whole thing for nothing and having to kind of go back and redo it. To me, that was revolutionary. That was very, very cool, and how they put that on an N64 game was crazy. And I don't think it gets its due respect, because that's one of my favorite. It's probably my fourth favorite in the series, right after Ocarina of Time. But people look at Ocarina of Time and it's just like, that's the defining game of the N64, and it's not like Mask isn't even in the same breath. I don't know. At least that's what it seems like to me. But
right, and the one thing about that game is it actually didn't sell too well. It sold 3 million copies compared to the 8 million Ocarina sold, because it came out very late in the N64 era.
Life cycle, yeah.
And you needed that annoying expansion pack. So I remember that game when it came out brand new. This was the first video game ever that got me to think about like economics of video games. Because that game was $79.99 when it came out. Mm-hmm. And a lot of N64 games were expensive, but that was one of the premier ones. And you needed the $15 expansion pack. So that game was like $95.
And that's without the guide.
With tax. And I remember my oldest brother, he took me to, at the time it was Funko Land. We went and picked it up, and like your total was $104.90. I'm like, what the heck? $100 for this game?
Buy?
So I think the expansion pack being late in the life cycle, the price, it caused a lot of people not to play it, and I guess I mentioned that.
Like you said, I think it's it's starting to, people are going back and they're starting to realize what it was and how cool it was, and that's good. I'm glad people are giving it a second look. But yeah, for me, that's the most underrated of the series. All right, we could jump into the direction of the series, but yeah.
We should also touch base on the timeline.
I think I'm gonna have to skip a few of these, right? Yeah, I got that going later. Worry not. I
do this every week. Like I jump ahead in his list.
Ahead in my topic, yeah.
Because he doesn't fucking tell us what's going on, so we can't prepare.
And then we ruin it.
And then we
ruin everything. Here's everything. Go nuts.
I'd like to talk about the direction if you don't.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, let's do it. Where you think Zelda's headed, or whatever.
There's a lot of. There was. Have you guys all seen the Wii U demo? It's sort of like the more.
No.
I don't want to say realistic, but more like surreal graphics. It's almost more mature looking, and
realism.
I actually don't think this is the right way to go at all. And maybe this is me I'm like so into the whole Darksiders series right now, and there's so many comparisons.
This is actually my next point, what I know what you're going to drop on right now.
I just think if they make a game that's very surreal, it's very gritty, very, all that, it's going to get those comparisons with God of War, with Darksiders, and that's almost like what I think is, I wouldn't say a flooded genre, but there's a number of alternatives there. But when I think of games like The Wind Waker, that's a one of a kind. There is no game, like, to me, that's comparable to The Wind Waker and even Skyward Sword, because this is almost purely from a graphical point of view, and they stand out. They're beautiful. Like, I still think Wind Waker is one of the greatest looking games, even by today's standards, and that's a game that's almost 10 years old. So yeah. I don't really want them to go into that direction of the whole gritty, darker, more surreal looking.
It would definitely change up the art style of how the series has been up until now. I mean, that would it would change the direction of it just completely, just because of the realism that would be added from that.
Well, to me, it's like it's actually another point I wanted to bring up, but I'm just going to tie it into the direction as well. Is it like kind of going to what you were saying? Half the allure and half the draw of all the Zelda titles is like
the look of it,
almost that childlike charm, like the whole. It's not murderous and like just like really adult themed. It's kind of like cartoony and like it's like, hey Link, wake up, and then you get up and you start your story and everything's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
how to
that's
explain
exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Like it just would change the look and feel. Well, maybe not feel it, but the overall look of it is going to definitely lose a lot of the charm that's been built up over the years.
I know a couple episodes ago when you started Skyward Sword, you were kind of like, "What the hell's going on?" Right? Because you're like, "When I'm in school," and I was kind of like, I was kind of telling you, I'm like, that's the draw. That's
well, at the same time, like now that I thought about it, like I didn't realize that this was the game you were starting the whole Zelda timeline.
yeah.
Yeah,
Does that matter though? I mean, for in terms of the
Sort
directions
of.
of the series, and
sort of.
the graphical, like the type of game they make.
Yes and no. Like, I didn't want to like go to class in a graduation in a game
It was
because
like
I did that in real life.
15 minutes of the fucking
no,
game.
It was
I
too
understand
long.
that.
It was too long. The beginning was too long. Of Skyward
Yes,
Sword.
thank you.
There was actually a recent article over at Kotaku. They talked about how every single Zelda game since Ocarina
They
really
start slow.
they've been getting slower and slower and slower. It's like 4 hours into the game of Skyward Sword before you get to the first dungeon.
Yeah.
Which, while in A Legend of Zelda, the original one, you can get to the first dungeon in 25 seconds.
Yeah,
Even in Ocarina of Time, it took 10 minutes if you were going rather quickly. And every single game from then on, it's nobody wants to play 4 hours until the first
It's
dungeon.
a lot of time of boring gameplay, and a lot of people are going to struggle through that. Games have to keep that interest factor into them.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. I do I understand with what you're saying that it might not be the right direction, and you brought up some valid points, but up until before that, I honestly wanted to see one of them. Because like the closest they got, I guess, would be Twilight Princess.
That was basically an ode to the fans, because people saw, this is going way back to, I think, Space World 2000. There was a GameCube demo, I don't know if you guys seen that, of Link fighting Ganondorf, and it was supposed to, it showcased the graphic capabilities of the GameCube, and it had this very gritty looking like sword battle between them, and people were like so like there was such a craze behind that. And then 2 years later they revealed the Wind Waker, which is like, it was
The cartooniest, the
complete opposite direction, and there was so much like brushback from the core Zelda fans. They're like, what are you guys doing to us? And then 2 years later, E3 2004, they revealed Twilight Princess, and then that was like one of the craziest reactions ever when they released that.
I think a lot of the uproar seems like people want Skyrim in the Zelda universe,
Right?
From that small group of people that actually want to see it. I want like a cool, I don't even know what it is, but I think I just want it once, and then I almost want them to revert back to their standard formula. I do want to see them do it one time though.
I think they've done it once with Twilight Princess. They really did.
I guess I meant more like modern graphics.
Granted, that is a 6-year-old game now, and that was really a GameCube game that sort of got ported to the Wii.
Yeah.
So they haven't done one this generation, I suppose.
I would like to see the Skyrim universe or setting with a Zelda game.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
It'd be cool as well. All right.
What, Mark?
Don't look at me.
I'm gonna
Okay,
kill
have
you.
you guys? I know you.
I already got the hit out on
You
it.
haven't played the new one yet, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you're probably.
you like to?
Sorry, you're out of this one.
Sure.
But what do you guys think about the implementation of the motion controls into the Zelda series? Halfway through Twilight Princess, I guess, kind of, because the first, like, on GameCube it was controls, but on Wii it was.
It was added
Originally,
on.
that game
Oh,
was just
Skyward
supposed
Sword.
to be GameCube, right?
Yeah.
And then the Wii was coming out, so they're like, we're
They
going to do a
delayed
Wii
it a
version.
whole year,
Yeah.
mirrored it, and then tossed on some Wii controls.
Yeah.
It's a GameCube game that plays with Wii controls.
I preferred it with the GameCube controller.
I did as well, but okay, fine. Let's just consider it just Skyward Sword. How do you guys think they did?
Skyward Sword did a way, way, way better job than Twilight Princess.
Oh, for sure. You can't even compare those.
Right.
Skyward Sword is, in my opinion, by far the best motion-controlled game out there. For sure.
Across all three platforms, I agree.
Across
It's what motion controlling should aim to replicate, is what they did with Skyward Sword. They actually got as close as I think the Wii is physically capable of getting to one-to-one controls, which you actually don't want pure one-to-one, because you'll get your ass kicked, because we're not professional sword fighters.
The hell we aren't.
It's not even one-to-one. There's 8 key directions.
Yeah.
So you don't. It actually doesn't go exactly how your sword goes.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. You don't want, like, people think they want that full on realism to get in a real sword fight. You're not going to get past that level. You're just going to, like, the human isn't. I don't know.
But
what I'm
if
trying to
pirates
say.
ever invade, we'll kick ass.
But the only problem I have with the controls is that, really, when you look at the Wii Motion Plus technology, there's been like 3 games that have used it. It's like Wii Sports Resort, I think Red Steel.
Red Steel 2.
And I think there was like Fling Smash or something like
Fling Smash, which no one really ever got.
Yeah, nobody.
No, people bought it and then traded it in because it came with the Motion Plus
They just
controller.
wanted, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this was really
That's why I say it all
the
the time.
first game that used Wii Motion Plus. Like, I think this game should have been. This should have been a launch title for the Wii, or if not a launch title, maybe a launch title with the Motion Plus. And I think they could have advanced on this technology, making like a Skyward Sword 2 with this technology, and they could have done so much more with it.
Yeah.
The problem is now it's the end of the generation. They're not going to make a Skyward Sword 2. The next game is going to use a completely different style. Who knows what they're going to do with the tablet? I mean, nobody knows.
Yeah. I think they did a ridiculously good job with it because I was super skeptical. I've made no secret of it. I'm not a big Wii fan in general, but I play that. I enjoy it. They did a great job with Skyward Sword. They really did. The guys over at the Zelda team, I love them, so I don't care. I might have went into it a little biased already, thinking I was going to like it because it's a Zelda title, if that makes any sense. I might have walked into it like, this is going to be great, and that might not hurt its chances at all, but I love it. So, whatevs. I think it's great.
A lot of people had that view of, like, there's actually been some criticism of some of, like, Game Informer magazine and
Because
IGN.
all the tens.
They give it a perfect 10.
Yeah.
And the GameStop reviewer, or GameSpot,
GameSpot, yeah.
the website one.
Yeah, GameSpot.
Gave it like an 8.5, right?
7.5.
Yeah.
7.5, Atomic Shea. And he actually went out and said that those IGN and Game Informer were only giving it because it's a nostalgic game, because it's a very hyped up game, and Nintendo was driving it. And he almost basically said, yeah, that's the only reason they gave it a 10, saying this is not a 10 game.
Yeah.
Basically criticizing other publishers. That's a no-no in the game review industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially because, like, nobody's technically wrong. I don't understand all the backlash after reviews.
Sure,
like,
it's opinions.
It's one guy's
yeah.
opinion. Like, it's not. I think, like, when an entire company, like an IGN or a Kotaku, gives the Game of the Year award, that's different because you got 60 or 70 reviewers throughout the entire company that all have to go through a voting process. And then you have, like, a process of elimination and who got the most votes and whatever. And then you have a physical Game of the Year. A single review on any individual game is one person's opinion on their encounter with that one game during the 10 or 15 hours that they were allowed to commit to it, because they probably couldn't even play the whole game because they got to move on to the next thing. So it's not, people take them way too much to heart.
I mean, if you go to, like, the meta score for, like, any game, it'll range generally from, like, 100% all the way down to a 50, and it'll be the same game. And it just goes back to the opinion based of
Yeah.
it,
So, whatevs. Okay, I wanted to, we kind of already started touching onto it, but I wanted to do, like, Skyward Sword, because that's obvious the newest thing, like, the controls. What do you guys think about the flight controls?
They barely used it. I mean, there was like 2-3 segments of flight in the whole game.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be bigger, too, because they spent that whole first portion teaching you how to use it, and it just seemed like it was just from place to place.
Yeah, there was not enough with the flight. In general, the overworld, the flying, it was basically just getting from point A to point B and nothing else at all. There was very little exploration in the sky. That's probably one of the biggest knocks I have on the game. The lack of exploration and the really poor use of an overworld and the whole flying in general.
Yeah.
I have no opinion because I haven't flown yet in the game.
What do you
Wow,
mean?
you're like an hour in then, aren't
I
you?
know.
Okay, then.
We have so many games to play as well.
Yeah, we do get through a lot of crap. as you
I don't
guys
even
can-
mention, like, half the ones because I forget what I play in a
Yeah.
game.
I played
Yeah.
Skyward Sword 5 times, 4 of them before the game released. So, yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite things I think they did very, very well in Skyward Sword is the fast travel.
What do you mean by that?
Like, almost like jumping up to, like, when you zoom up to Skyloft, and then, like, it just seems quicker to, like, maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing, like how to get from area to area is a lot faster. You don't have to manually run through every little single.
It was better than I'd say. Like the Wind Waker is the worst way, because it was just literally just 2-3 minutes of blank sailing.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It seemed like, I'm calling it wrong. I don't know.
The fact that that's a praise is a problem, though.
Yeah.
This game is good because it doesn't take 3 minutes to get from place A to place B.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think
the traveling aspect seems like it was like it's quicker.
It's like they corrected a problem. I don't think it's a praise.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably said it a lot better than I could. But
I kind of know what you mean there. A big WoW player from a long time ago, going from the top of the continent to the bottom of the continent was 15 real minutes, and that was just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Which game?
World of Warcraft.
Oh.
Yeah. Big, 6-year plus player here.
Mikey, stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple things that I want to round off on, but before, if you guys got any other Skyward Sword comments or things you want to bring up, feel free.
I'm going to sink some time into that this week.
You really should have.
You should.
That's the goal.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen.
He said should of.
Should have.
Yeah, he said should of.
I knew we were doing this, sir.
Meaning you, yeah.
Huh?
Meaning you should have done it.
I actually have
should
some
have,
questions
but I didn't.
for you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole reason we even remembered to even ask you is because we were having not an argument, we were all just confused about the timeline. So maybe if you could if you could give us a second and explain, because from my understanding, it seems like we touched on this a few weeks ago that it begins with Skyward Sword. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And I just don't understand how there's 3 parallel universes running
right after Ocarina of Time.
See, I don't, but I just like a little.
For the longest time, there was only after Ocarina of Time. You beat the game, you beat Ganon or Ganondorf, whatever, and then Princess Zelda plays the ocarina and sends you back in time to play relive your childhood. So they've explained this as they've created 2 endings here. One ending is you play as Link, you beat Ganon, Ganon has been defeated, and the timeline continues from there after Link has defeated Ganon.
Okay.
The second timeline is Link got sent back in time at the end of the game, and it's not actually shown in the game, but now he knows what Ganon is up to, so Link and Zelda plot to prevent Ganon from basically rising to power. They seal him away, and it goes from that timeline too. So there's a timeline that ends with Link as an adult and Link as a child. And this has been long confirmed by the developers. They called it the split timeline. And Twilight Princess took place 100 years after the child version. Wind Waker took place hundreds of years after the adult version.
Okay.
And there was no issue with that. People, that was not really the issue with the timeline. The issue is just fitting all the handheld games, the old games, with the overall story of the more modern console games. But more recently, in December of 2011, they've fully revealed the timeline. And in order to sort of make up for the older games, the original Legend of Zelda, Adventure of Link, the NES and Super Nintendo games, where do they fit in the timeline? Since that's really where the argument was. They basically created a third arch from Ocarina of Time. And the arch that they gave it is that, what if Link, it's almost like a what if scenario. What if Link failed? If Link was fighting Ganon and died, and Ganon
do it again.
Yeah, well, it was game over, and Ganon remains in power, and Link can't. Link is gone, basically out of the question.
Equation?
Yeah, so then the sages or some of the characters, they went and sort of sealed Ganon and restricted his power, but it's taken a lot of controversy in the Zelda community because the whole. If you really want to throw what if scenarios, you can say a what if scenario in virtually every single game.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of backlash to that, but basically that third arch of the timeline is Link failed. Therefore, Ganon was sealed away by the other powers at the time, the sages, and it sort of went off from that direction to A Link to the Past being the next game, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Although this actually had some validity because in A Link to the Past, one of the things about old video games in general, and Link to the Past did this, the instruction manual had a 6-page backstory, talking about all the things that happened before A Link to the Past. And when they were making Ocarina of Time, they were developing it with the idea that it was covering the backstory from A Link to the Past. So before, when there was only 5 games when Ocarina of Time came out, Ocarina of Time was supposed to be a prequel to A Link to the Past, and it really was. It wasn't until the later games came in that it screwed up everything, and it's sort of like a whole retcon, the whole thing.
Because it seems like you're explaining a little bit better to me, because I remember when the timeline first came out again, like what you were saying back in December.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it like day one, because I was super interested in it, and I obviously don't know the Zelda series as in-depth as you, but, I'm a pretty big fan, and to me, I didn't understand it when I was reading through it. It just seemed like Nintendo, or they were just like trying to do a cop-out, where they were just kind of like throwing stuff in there to shut everybody up, and it makes sense to me, because, during the first few titles, you didn't really think people were going to take it this serious and be like wanting to nitpick at every little single aspect of everything from the games from the 80s. And then like in the 90s, as they're starting to gain traction and get a bigger fan base, they're kind of like, oh shit, we have to start having this make more sense, and it's all going to kind of tie in together. And with a third parallel universe, it just like, it seemed like they were just kind of like, here. But, the way you explained it actually makes a little bit more sense now.
I think when the games were first coming out from the beginning, granted, they didn't have this, like, forward vision of, like, thinking ahead, but they actually all made sense in a timeline perspective all the way up until Wind Waker released.
Yeah.
So the first, really, 8 games, and then even 4 Swords, but they all sort of fit. And there was no real controversy over what came where, because there was, developer quotes, the in-game stuff. And it wasn't until Wind Waker came out because, right when you toss in the Wind Waker, the first thing you see is the backstory that talks about the ending of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And that was just like what the heck? Because A Link to the Past is the sequel to Ocarina of Time. How is this the sequel? Then there were 2 sequels to the same game. And it got even more screwed up when they added a 3rd sequel to the same game.
See, that's what I'm saying. For like the average Joe like me who just plays the games, it's kind of like it got confusing. You know what I mean? So
it is a cop out in a way in that when they released the book, they released it in a book form. Eiji Aonuma, basically the main guy after Miyamoto at this point, he basically almost like apologized before revealing the timeline, saying, yeah, there's going to be some inconsistencies in here. Just, take them as individual stories, and, we're trying our best here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kind of had to look back at it years after and kind of be like, all right, here.
It's hard to link when, how many games of that? Like
16 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15. Yeah, it's hard to link all those together timeline-wise.
without planning ahead.
Over the course of 3 decades?
Yeah.
And then not even knowing if you're going to probably make a second or a third game originally.
Right.
It's even worse because Capcom made 5 of the games.
Yeah, and then you have different developers. Everyone's going to bring their own story to it, different ideas. Yeah, like you said, there's going to be inconsistencies. There's going to be people hating on it because of it, but there's not much you can do because they're already out.
Yeah.
Some for fucking decades already.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. New
Yes.
Zelda game. Obviously, they're going to have one for the Wii U. Do we know anything about it?
There's a lot of rumors floating around. One of the big rumors that's been floating around for a long time, and Miyamoto has actually commented on this, Retro Studios, the guys who made Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, there's been this huge rumor that they might be making the next Zelda game, and Nintendo has actually commented on this before. And people think that with Metroid Prime, that sort of like rejuvenated the Metroid series. I don't know if you guys have played the Metroid Prime 2.
That was great.
That whole series was in like no man's land for a little while, and it like brought it back. And people think that maybe that's the direction Zelda needs to go. Since as good as Skyward Sword was, it actually is not selling too well. It's I think close to 3 million sales, but it's not going to sell much more.
Just in the Wii has, over 100 million actual console sales?
Yeah, close to it. It's clearly did not sell as well as Twilight Princess, not by a long shot.
Wii also has the lowest attach rate of any system ever. I don't know if it's because it's so easily pirated, or if it's because so many people that bought the system stuck with Wii bowling and stuff and just
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, a lot of grandmas and stuff bought that system for
I love Wii
People
bowling.
buy for Netflix. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. So
They don't buy it for
it,
Skyward
it
Sword.
really did not have a high attach rate. So I mean, looking at 110 million units versus the 3 million it sold, you know.
But it's not just, it's the Zelda series, because other games like Mario Galaxy, I think maybe that's a little more towards the mainstream, but I think that sold 12 million units, the first Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Mario just has such a image that it's the
He's
game
the
you need
face
to
of our
get,
hobby, guys.
and it's the game that children can pick up and they'll have no problem with it.
Yeah, even the most avid Nintendo haters, Mario's our mascot.
Right.
He is. He's the face of what we do. So
Well, even games like Donkey Kong Country outsold Skyward Sword. Even now in Europe, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is outselling Skyward Sword.
That's bad.
That makes me cringe.
Yeah,
when I
that should not
making a news
happen.
post at Zelda Dungeon. Mario and Sonic outselled.
You're crying the whole time you're posting it.
we report on that all the time too. That in Japan, the PSP is still outselling the Vita.
Because there's no Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like what?
Okay,
It's
and
weird.
the
It's just
U.S.
weird
is already
stuff.
stopping support for it at some like retailers.
I think a price drop's coming to E3, but that's for another day. Okay, so last thing before.
Wait, I have one more question.
Oh, by all means, sir.
This new Zelda game, do we know anywhere where it might fit in the timeline?
There's rumors, people thinking that there's a reboot. People are saying that, or it might just take place so far in the distant future that it's irrelevant.
And won't mess with the already story.
It can't mess with anything.
There's
that's
some
already
view
there.
out there that the fact that they released the timeline, they sort of made this prequel that opens up the whole series with Skyward Sword, and they released the timeline, they matched put things all together, that they're not going to put a game in between. So, and they can't really go back. They're not going to go before Skyward Sword. So, I wouldn't say it's an overwhelming consensus, but a lot of people think it's sort of going to play outside of what we consider the timeline right now. So it's going to take place in the distant future, or maybe a reboot.
Yeah,
We should probably post a
I
link
think a
to the
reboot
timeline.
would be. I think a reboot would be interesting because, like you said, I mean, you don't want to start poking holes in the timeline that they just put up, and a lot of series are starting to do that now. They're just kind of like, okay, that was that. Let's try this now. You know?
I think they can just do it in the distant future and pretty much play just like it's a reboot.
Yeah.
Just make minor references because the core fans are going to love any little reference you have to a previous game. And
Definitely.
Okay. Last question I got for you guys is Link the true timeless hero?
he is the hero of time. That is his label, at least in some of the
But
games.
is he the
I mean,
timeless
even
hero?
because I mean, the only other guy comparable would be Mario, but Mario just gets whored out so much in fucking
Like soccer, tennis,
yeah,
or
he's at the fucking Olympics. You don't see you don't see Link get whored out like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
With
he
the exception of that stupid crossbow thing, which
he was in Soul Calibur too.
yeah. Yeah, but
was.
he was a badass in Soul Calibur.
Yeah, he fits that universe in
Yeah,
a way.
yeah.
I would sadly have to give it to probably Mario at this point, just for the sheer because he's a whore.
Mario is the whole.
Mario
Mario-
Golf and shit. You don't see Link.
No, you
picking
don't
up
see that. I mean-
fucking a 3-wood and shit. No. So
Yeah,
well, I don't know.
those two.
If you guys got any, for me, it's probably Mario, but I mean,
Mario.
I like Link better. I mean, besides the Super Galaxies, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, they're both great games. I really haven't liked a Mario since 64. So
My favorite Marios were like the original Nintendo games.
yeah, 1, 2, and 3, even Super, those were badass.
Yeah, and I
Mario
played
Kart.
so much more
Mario Party.
Mario than I did Zelda,
Me too.
and I don't know why, because like I always liked the Zelda stories.
Mario Party was like
Stupid.
they should have stopped after 3 or 4. It's like, didn't you
No,
say all you needed to fucking say with this shit?
Mario Party 1 was great. 2 was good.
That's what I played.
3 was okay. 4 was garbage.
They give
5 was
progress-
crap. 6 was what the hell are they doing? 7 was like, God damn it, stop. 8 was like, oh my goodness. And then they stopped doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then they just released Mario Party 9.
Yeah. That's exactly
Oh,
what I was
it's
trying to say.
awful.
You said it way better than I could have. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, you know, we said all we needed to say. We're good. We get it. It's a board game. We get it.
I don't understand
Keep
why.
shoving it down my throat.
I don't understand why Mario Party 9 was not a Wii Motion Plus game.
Yeah, like
Why?
Motion Plus has been
Why?
out for so long now, and no one is really supporting it at this point, other than like a game or two a year.
Nintendo
No,
is not
there's-
even supporting it with a game that makes perfect sense for it.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely stupid. They had everyone buy this because
Why would
everyone
you
wanted.
not want precision controls? On Mario
Everyone
Party?
wanted Wii Sports Resort. Everyone wanted it, so everyone got the Motion Plus, and now nothing really uses it.
Yeah, there's 5 titles that require it.
That's ridiculous.
I went without it up until Skyward Sword came out.
Oh, I'm
I didn't
sure-
have Wii Motion Plus until that.
I'm sure 90% of people like don't have it. I mean, like so many people have come in trying to get like the either Skyward Sword or
I'm sure
Resort.
100% of the people. No, I'll say 90% of the people that have Motion Plus only have one game that uses it.
Oh yeah, well,
No, a lot of them have Resort and Skyward Sword, for sure.
yeah.
The other ones, who
I
cares?
don't know.
I mean, just at this point, like it wasn't like a lot of the people who bought it originally, the Motion Pluses, have gotten rid of and or aren't really playing their Wii's anymore. So I mean, I have people all the time coming in looking for Motion Pluses or just normal controllers because they don't really need it at this point.
I think Mario Party 10 with the Wii U controller might work. So I think they could do
Oh
something.
man, Mario Party's still gonna go
See,
on.
that could be cool because you could have sneaky, almost Dreamcast-esque with like your private. Oh no, because the Wii's only gonna.
I want my
Support
N64
one at a time.
and I need
Well, that's
a
not
third
that.
hand.
They've gone back and forth on that.
Okay.
We'll
If that rumor turns out to be true, because what I was trying
Yeah.
to get at was like everybody's got their own personal screen. You could get
Well,
really
there's-
some in-depth, sneaky fucking mini games.
There is already one where it's like it's almost like a hide and seek game where one of the guys is like it or whatever, and the other 3 guys are on the screen while he's on the tablet and he's like searching for him, and he can see both screens. It's very unique.
Yeah, see, that could be cool.
Like that's very Mario Party-ish too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I don't know if you gentlemen have any final thoughts on the entire Zelda universe. But besides that, I'm all good to go.
I'm going to try playing all the Zelda games in timeline chronological order. Which timeline should I play?
just
1,
play all
2,
the
and
games.
3.
That's a big
Hi.
adventure. I got nothing else to add. So
No, actually, now I'm curious. Which timeline would be the best?
Go in,
Oh.
go like how you're supposed to. Like how when people ask me that I've never seen Star Wars, I answer it the same way too. When
Watch
they're
episode 4,
since
5,
they're all,
and
yeah,
6.
exactly.
That's
exactly.
it.
So you start with
4, 5,
fucking,
6.
you start with the NES one, then you start with 2, then you come to fucking Link to the Past. Yes, you go
Yeah.
in order that way, not
Do it that way.
not
you know,
timeline wise.
people are gonna play Skyward Sword and then play the Minish Cap. Like
I'll
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. You don't do that.
it's yeah.
Yeah, and if you told people start in Star Wars order with the Phantom Menace, they would watch the first movie, meet Jar Jar Binks, and be like, "You know what, Star Wars is not for me."
No,
It's not for me.
No, they don't do it.
But if you get them with
'Cause
4, 5, and 6,
young kids that watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 because they don't know 4, 5, and 6 exist, they get to 4, 5, and 6 and they're like, "This looks like shit."
I don't
Where's
thi-
Jar Jar?
I need more Jar Jar.
No one has ever said that.
And they better not.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Zelda, good times.
Yeah, we're gonna close out on Zelda music,
I know.
not whatever I said earlier.
Limp
know.
The
Biscuit.
ending credits from
No,
A Link
not
to the
Limp
Past.
Bizkit.
No, you
Yeah.
got to end on Zelda
That's my
music.
favorite Zelda song. The
Which
ending credits and the ending theme and the credits from A Link to the Past. My favorite song. And the Dark World.
I was going to suggest the Metallica fucking remix. That thing's awesome, too. You heard
Metallica.
it? I'll play it. I'll play it for you after we sign off. If Joe doesn't want to use that one, that's fine.
Or play the Rabbit Joint, or what people thought was the System of a Down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Maybe that's
Link,
what I'm thinking of?
He come to
No,
town.
that's not what I'm thinking of.
Come to save the Princess Zelda. You gotta listen to it.
All right. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on the show, man. We do appreciate it. You are welcome
great.
back anytime. I know we did this for Zelda, but if you want to come on another show, feel free, and we could just talk regular video games too, man. This was a great honor. But besides that, this.
Oh, one more thing. I do have an app for Android people. If you want it, email us.
Yeah, we're in beta right now, right? Because we're still
Yeah,
adding.
like
We're
alpha.
adding stuff.
Yeah, I just keep adding shit.
We're adding stuff. We're changing stuff around.
Anytime I have an update, I'll have your email address on my update list, and I'll send you the new copy.
Yeah, please send us questions, whatever you want to us to talk about on the show.
Yep.
Let us know.
Our app has a soundboard, so you want that.
But besides all that, yeah, thanks again for coming on, man. And this has been episode 9, and we will talk to you guys next week, same time.
Goodbye.
Link, er kommt total